Hello everyone, welcome back to an episode of City Bus Manager with me, Tops. Last episode we left off, we had built out the depot in Oldham, and I've been busy since then. Basically, Oldham is complete, the bus station, the bus depot there, with buses as well, be new bus routes as well. We've added 4 routes in total to Glossop. And the Glossop area has been up and running as well for a few days now. You can see we're on Thursday at 11 PM. And you can see in our finances, we're not getting any more subsidiary income because we have over $1 million in the bank. Now, I have been busy. Obviously, we're running the Glossop buses out of Oldham. And we've obviously got the other buses running. And buses and everything's making a lot of money. And I said last episode that next episode we were going to be, the next episode being this episode, we were going to focus on Macclesfield. And well, let's just head down to, where is it? You can see I've been busy. Got Macclesfield over here just to make sure all the bus stops are upgraded. There we go. All the new bus stops have been upgraded. We have Macclesfield, and you can see we've got so many bus stops already so far in place. Our Macclesfield depot is completely full. We have staff on training until 11 minutes past 1 in the morning. The majority of them being, if we go to trainee, not names, skill. The majority of them are trainees, so if we go until we see it swap from trainees, here we go. So, about half, just under half are trainees, the roster of novices. So, by the morning, that means all of our bus drivers will be ready, all of our buses will be completely ready in our bus fleet to go. Now, yeah, we've got literally, we've got a lot of buses. And as I literally was starting to fill this depot, and we got a bus recall on every other bus we had in every other depot. So I've been focusing on that, focusing on getting everything through. We've ran everything remarkably well so far. Statistics-wise, we're nearly finishing the passengers in one day. I don't know why I saved the game and reloaded, and it dropped it from 3.4 million to 2.89 million, basically. So it's dropped it by 500,000. Maybe because it was an influxed one because of obviously being events on in the city. But no, we've dramatically been getting about 20,000, 100,000 passengers per day. Here, we might even reach over there, but I don't think we will today. Network coverage dropped a bit because obviously the map increase. Route length is obviously going to be increasing a lot tomorrow. We currently have 176 active bus routes. Now, with the 4 routes in Glossop being added, wherever Glossop is up here, one of them is a double route, so that's implemented in there. So that's 5 routes in total we've added to Glossop. Macclesfield, now that's a completely different kettle of fish. Macclesfield in itself has 3 different bus companies running within it. D&G being the main depot. There is another one called High Peaks, and Bellevue. Running out of Macclesfield, and I've attempted to replicate the majority of all these bus routes, some of which I've had to adapt a little bit just because of how the game works, some of which have just been copy-paste, put them in, and it runs, and it works. Although I'm yet to get the buses to work because I've built them all, and we have 13 of them, with another 7 being doubled-up routes. We have the 3, so that is the main city centre one. It is run by D&G, and obviously it'll be run out of the D&G depot. But it's literally, I think this is the bus station here, goes to the train station, and then goes out and back round. It's a small little bus route, but we're going to activate that because it's going to be running from tomorrow. Might take a second for these to go through, but I'll go through all of the bus routes, like I said, and we're going to activate them one by one and get them all up and running for tomorrow. The Mac 10. So as you can see, I've also shuffled things around. So Mac is obviously the shortened for Macclesfield. Man is shortened for Manchester. When we move over to other areas like Liverpool, it will be LVP or LIV. I've forgotten what their actual one is. For Blackpool, we're going to obviously move up to Blackpool. It'll be BPL. I don't know what Preston's three initials are, but anyway. The 10, it goes from Macclesfield to Bollington. That's going to be activated and be running from tomorrow. Now, I absolutely have no clue if any of these will actually run tomorrow, because we still have 1 o'clock in the morning. We still have bus routes. No, we still have training to do for passengers. But the majority of buses we have over 100 drivers. So the bus routes in the morning should run fine. I'm just hoping they all shuffle in each other as well. But anyway, we've got the 14 and the 14A. So the 14 just goes to this little area and back up. The 14A is extended. So 1 every hour. Oh, I think I've set it up. So on the half an hour, it goes down here. On the hour, it goes to here and back. It's just a loop one, so I didn't have to add a thing on the end. So that's going to be activated. That is the 14 and the 14A. We've added some decent routes in here, I'm going to be honest. From how it is actually built up in Macclesfield, and the actual full coverage that you can see when we turn off all these, and we just look at the bus stops, it is mostly covered. I'll give it that. It could do with obviously a few more going around here and more areas here, but it's obviously Macclesfield is. I don't know if Macclesfield is a town. I'm going to guess it's a town. So obviously it's not as big as other places like Manchester, obviously being a full-on city. But that was the 14 and the 14A. Let's have a look at the 12, the 19 and the 19A, which is one that goes to Prestbury. I think the turnaround's up here, being that depot, that one there, the turning circle. And then the other one goes all the way up to just before Dean Row. These ones, again, similar one to how the other one is. I think these are 1 every hour, so it goes there and back for an hour. Then it goes there all the way to the end and back. So every 2 hours, it goes to the extended route. Every 1 hour, it goes to this main route. That's just how I've got that built up. So that is going to be implemented there. And then I'm going to figure out how to shuffle all these bus routes about as well. So basically, if it's run out of Macclesfield, I'm calling them Mac buses and the Mac routes, because obviously we don't want them overloading each other. So we have the 58 here. So this one goes from Macclesfield all the way to Buxton. So obviously that one has a turnaround point here, I believe, which is fully upgraded. There's another turnaround point here, but that's for other bus routes, which I will show you about in a little bit. I've forgotten the frequency of them, but the majority of them, because they go through rural areas, are either 1 every hour or 1 every half an hour. I think there's one that I've got set that's every 45 minutes, but that's a different route altogether. We're back over at Macclesfield, I believe, for the 60. Yes, we are. So the 60 and the 68 is one that goes all the way through Kettlesham and Whaley Bridge to New Mills and Hayfield. So obviously we've added a Hayfield route in previously. Obviously now this is now extending it down to the south. So obviously this is the first of Macclesfield expanding into our existing network. I believe the 60A just closed off at New Mills, and the 60 goes up to there. So I think they're every 1 hour, every 2 hours, basically. One terminates here every 2 hours, one terminates here every 2 hours, and same going the other way. So I can activate that bus route now, and obviously all these have been all the exits. No, all of the actual routes have been where the terminates and turnaround routes are. They have been done. We then have the 61, which goes a similar route, but it goes a bit wider. It goes Buxton. So it is a Buxton route. So it goes from, like I say, this extra turning location that's in Buxton, all the way up through Whaley Bridge, through New Mills, through Hayfield, and up to Glossop. So it's a Glossop to Buxton route. It's another nice little route, and obviously it links in other routes as well, and it does the extremities, all that good stuff. We're kind of I think we're in Cheshire now, or Chester, or whatever it is. We're in a different county basically from where Manchester is. So yeah, that is the Buxton Route 1. Our next route is Buxton routes. So the actual routes there is the 76, the 77, and I've made my own route of the 78, and I've racked them all up into one. So I believe the 76 goes up to here, around, and then back. So that is about a 33-minute route, and it lasts 33 minutes, so it runs every 40 minutes. It means we can have one bus running 3 routes every 2. It just runs the route every 2 hours. So it's a 40-minute route that runs once every 2 hours. And then as soon as it's done that, it does the 77E. The 77, I believe, goes round this way, around the centre and to Buxton, to the 77E. And then I've extended it to add an extra. I think it added this bit in. So it would have just been like this bit, but I've added it, so it added this bit in, so it makes it more. And then we've got the 78, which... Oh, no, that's the one, yeah. So the 77 would have just gone down around to this bit, and I've extended it down to this bit. And then I think it was a 20-minute route, so I thought I'll add a bit more from that. So obviously, it was like a 15-minute route originally. So I added this, then it made it a 20-minute route. And then I've added this, and it made it another about 33-minute. So it is a full route going around houses and all that. And I think there's like a little down here as well that it stops near. And then I've added the 7. So obviously it's extended twice to add this area and this area. And then we have the 78, which I think goes back around this way a little bit, around or down here to add this, and then it adds another route down this way. So whereas one of the 70, I think it's the 77 or the 76 goes this way, the 78 adds a little bit extra in. So Buxton is completely done. It's going to be one bus that can run it throughout the whole time. And it's going to be amazing, I hope. So one bus route that is divvied up between 3 different paths, which will hopefully stay, like I say, in the Buxton area. And it just means for a 2-hour period, it's running 3 different bus routes, all terminating at the whatever park area this is. It's a nice little route, that one, I think. And then we have the 88. Now, if I remember, the 88 does go from Macclesfield, and it's one of the other Macclesfield. It goes west now, all the way through these little villages, down and across, and up to Knutsford, through Moberley. It is a very long bus route, I can't lie. Through Chorley, through Wilmslow, and then the game is currently saving, so it's going to take a second to load through. There we go, game has saved, so we can carry on. It goes all the way up through Hales Barnes and up to Atrium. So this obviously adds the westmost lower area all the way over as well, which is really good. And obviously that is going to be the 88, so we can activate that bus route as well. And the reason why I'm doing this on a Thursday night is so on Friday morning, everything can be worked out schedule-wise. I still obviously have a lot of buses I need to send back, but obviously can do them over the weekend. Our next bus will be the 130, so it's a Macclesfield. It goes the same way, but instead of going across, it goes up through Nether Elderly Edge instead of coming. So it goes more direct to Wilmslow. It then goes a bit through Wilmslow, through Herald Green, through Withenshaw, and to the airport. So this is obviously Macclesfield to Manchester Airport. It is a nice, a very nice route. Not one of the longest routes we've added onto the network, to be fair. We've had one that is a 4-hour round trip on our network. We've got a few bus routes that are like that. The 199 is another Macclesfield. Is it Macclesfield? It's not. The 199 is Buxton. This is literally, it's something stupid like a 50-mile round trip and 4 hours real-time round trip. Goes all the way from Buxton up through Peakdale, through Dove Holes. So it goes a completely different route to all the other bus routes going up straight north. Through Chapel en Frith, however you pronounce that, Whaley Bridge. So obviously, instead of going straight up to Whaley Bridge, it goes east and up to New Mills, and then instead of going right, whereas all the buses go to Hayfield from there, it goes through High Lane, through Hazel Grove, to Stockport. It has one final stop in Stockport, and then it's a shuttle bus up and down to the airport. So it's Buxton to the airport via Stockport and some other extremities locations. So I think this bus route runs every half an hour because of how it said the demand would be. And the demand probably would be from the Stockport area going south or going to the airport. It's a very, very long bus route. Anyway, back in Macclesfield, we have, I think, we've got the 312. Now, this is actually a Wilmslow bus route. It's Wilmslow to the shopping centre, where I believe it was the 42, I want to say B stops there. Either the B or the C. Yeah, the B, because the C goes down here, so it's the B. So it connects that route together, so more bus routes, more connections. Basically meaning if you want to go from Manchester to Wilmslow, you would have to go via 2 bus routes, effectively. But it should be a nice little route. Do we have any extra routes? We do. This is the Macclesfield one again. Obviously, they're all Macclesfield buses, and they're running out of this depot. It is the 191, the 192, and the 193. Now, these run, the 191, each bus runs every 45 minutes. But because of there's 3 bus routes, they run every 15 minutes, effectively, down this main route, going through Boylington. And then at Boylington, the 393 goes this way through Adlington rail station up to Poynton, and one of the so this one that goes up here would be the B, the A and the B, and then from here one of them goes this way round, one just cuts through. One goes this way round, one just cuts through. So if it goes around this way, it cuts through here. If it goes around that way, it cuts through there. So basically, it adds an extra 15-minute service. Goes through Hazel Grove all the way to Stockport. That's another Stockport to Macclesfield. So basically, you could effectively just get 2 buses, one from Manchester to Stockport, one from Stockport down. So to go from the top of the map to the bottom of the map, we only have 3 buses you would ever have to use on this map. And I believe that was all of the routes. I'll just double check. There's any routes that are cancelled? No, there's not. As part of all this as well, we ended up getting a secondary hotel transfer, which obviously every night at 7 p.m. it goes to the next one. Obviously, we've got 2 of them running. They run out of the Arriva depot, because obviously that's the nearest one. I think it's not the nearest one. Where is it? Where's the airport? It's one of the nearest ones to the airport anyway, so all the buses run out of there anyway. And yeah, that's all the bus routes. So that was effectively 13 bus routes in total, with 7 of them being either doubled up or tripled up for the 391, the 392, and the 393 route. Which, going together, if I go to my schedule, it'll let me look at my schedule for tomorrow. Apply to this depot, and they all just slot in. They all slot in. Is there a bus without anything on? No. I think every bus has at least a shift on. For some reason, all the other bus depots just up. Let me sort all the bus times out and that kind of stuff, and then we can go through to the next day. Oldham didn't have everything on, so Oldham, we'll put it onto there. That one's at 3:15. Anything that finishes before 3:15, then I can just plonk this onto. There should be. This is basically just what I've been doing. No, that starts after 3:15. Was the one that was just like a late? No. Anyway, let me figure this out. Something that finishes before 3:15. I can just plonk this onto, please. Let's try 3:40. I don't think that'll just slot on straight onto there. I don't really like doing ones that are like 1 minute back to backs, but sometimes I just have to happen. But I'm sure I can find one that I'll be able to slot this on. Right there, perfect. There we go. All bus routes are accounted for tomorrow. I'm going to get through until 11 minutes past 1, where I'm going to have to then, if we hit this, we hit this. If we don't hit this today, we'll definitely hit it tomorrow. My passenger's called. I'm going to get through to 11 minutes past 1, get everyone that needs retraining at the Middleton depot retrained completely. Or set into for training. So that means everyone that is trained up so far will be able to go out for the bus routes tomorrow. And I'll bring you back for tomorrow morning. I also need to sort out the bus recalls, which I do at just 1 minute, like 1 minute past midnight. So by the time they come back to the system, they're ready for bus routes that go out after 3 p.m. Because it takes 14 hours. So obviously that'll be 2 p.m. So as long as I've got it there to go out for 3 p.m., I end up getting a load of things up here saying add me to buses, but they don't run out. The times don't run out. Anyway, like I said, I'll get all that done. I will come back in a few minutes' time or a few moments' time for you. About I don't know how long for me, but yeah, I'll be back just before the bus routes from Macclesfield start heading out in the morning. And we are back. The first bus is heading out of the Macclesfield depot. Let's see what service it's going to be. It's going to be the Mac 199. So it's going to be the very early morning bus from Buxton to the airport. So that's going to be a nice little bus route there. But yeah, everything fits in the bus routes. Everything's running. We've got another bus going out there. Is that going to be the one going the opposite way? No, that's going to be it's going to be the 391 from Stockport. That one's heading out. This one is now heading out, and it's going to be the 76 in Buxton. So that one's probably going to be 76, 77, 78. Going to carry on that one. So we've got 3 buses out of the Macclesfield depot. 2 of them heading Buxton. One's heading up to Stockport to start the route. I'm surprised the bus hasn't gone out to start at the airport just yet. There we go. We've got 2 more coming out. You are heading to the airport side to be the 199. You are heading to Wilmslow to be the 312. You are heading out to be the 392 from Stockport. Then we've got another one just started heading out. You're going to be the 58, so Buxton to Macclesfield. So basically, the ones that start in Buxton aren't heading out just yet. No, in Macclesfield, they're all going out. That's going to be the next one. The next 199. Why is the Mac 3? So you're already heading out as well. Let me just position this a bit better so we can have a look and watch Macclesfield in action. But yeah, so we've got a lot of buses going out. All of our bus stops should be updated. We definitely have a massive game save file, though. So much so that the bus stops are freaking out a little bit. We've got over 400 bus stops. We have stupid, crazy staff numbers. We've got like 3,000 staff, I want to say. So off the top of my head, we've got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 depots. In 12 depots, we've got 230 in each. So that in itself is 2,760 staff. Plus however many ones we've got at the main depot. Let's have a look at the staff members. We've got 320 ticket inspectors, 120 service employees. Why not just go off the full number, which is 458. We have 3,218 staff members. We've got over 1,200 buses, with at least 1,190 being all the same make, which is why, yeah, we've got half of them recalled so far. We've not got all of them recalled, though, sadly. But yeah, we should hit this passengers today, so we're going to end up with banking the money. We're not spending out any money today at all. The game was frozen. But yeah, hopefully the game slowly catches up to us. But yeah, we're not going to spend any money today. We're just going to see what income comes in, what we end up at the end of the day. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'm probably going to be looking at maybe moving across to unlocking the map to go over to Liverpool. Because I think we've got 3 external depots left, and Liverpool is definitely one I want to move over to and implement it link it up with Manchester. And I think we've got a maximum of 3 buses left. We have in total 188 bus routes plus 3 contracts, so 191. I believe there's a limit of about 250 bus routes. So hopefully Liverpool doesn't have over 50 bus routes, 60 bus routes, because I don't think we're going to be able to fit them all in. But we'll see what happens. And this game is being very slow the first day in Macclesfield. So let me save the game, reload, and hopefully that'll help with a bit of performance. And we're back. So a little quick game save. I'm reloaded. Everything seems to be running a lot more smoother. Yeah, we're just going to see how the buses go today and how everything goes. We'll know at the end of the day, obviously, how much money we've made. We'll definitely know that we've carried that more passengers. But right now, it's the interconnectivity between like Manchester, which is via Stockport, to Macclesfield or the airport. To Macclesfield, we'll have on not only the Macclesfield buses, but all the other buses as well. And hopefully all these bus routes will be very good together. Now, I have found some interesting points on what we could do to hopefully alleviate some of the lag. But it basically means rebuilding the majority of these bus routes. So now, for example, the bus routes around, what I've done with Buxton is I've put 3 bus routes into one. So it optimizes having one less timetable, and then just obviously editing up how the buses work through that service. It means we have less bus routes in total without obviously doubling up things. So obviously here we've got the 14 and the 3, the 14 and the 14A. Which I believe is this one, the 19, the 19A, and any other just relatively round Macclesfield buses, we could effectively just link into one whole journey, one whole timetable, and then through the timetables things is then edit them up, because within the timetables you have up to 100 different timetabled points you can do. And obviously, if, for instance, you do... So, for a day, For the weekdays, it'll be 4 routes. For the weekends, it'll be 2 routes. That's 6 routes per number. So 6 routes, 100 divided by 6. Let me just do the math. 100 divided by 6 would be 16 bus routes I could effectively do within that area. Within one network, I could do effectively 16 routes. Not that I want to get to that point, that extreme point, but if they've got the same start and end point, why not merge them together? It will hopefully ease up on any lag and that kind of stuff, but that would be a complete rebuild of the whole system. Now, obviously, Macclesfield in itself may end up being the last of this save because of just how gigantic this save has gotten to. We are making money hand over fist. Like, there's nothing realistically I can think of doing apart from going through and making a new save somewhere else in the country. Now, in the past, I've thought of Birmingham. I've also thought of possibly going through to London, because definitely London buses would be a very, very big system to do. And having utilised this in a way of having the external depots, as soon as we can get an external depot, basically, I want to utilise it. I have a game plan on how I want to do bus routes in the future, and that would be the plan. We've got apparently a phone call from a fuel supplier. Fuel's price has gone up. That's okay. We don't use fuel. We do not use fuel. Anyway, yeah. So the Macclesfield buses, they're getting utilised. They're in the greens. That is a 10. That is a 391 stuff as such. But yeah, I've kind of gone about these bus routes in interesting ways, especially when certain bus routes run different areas. Now, for me, for a bus route like the 393, I basically built one bus route up until the point of where it cuts off. Where are we? So I built the bus route up until about here. And then I built one route, put a waypoint at the start, waypoint at the end, named it CC, so it'll be the 393. This one, then I built this route. Obviously, put waypoints when you had the changes. Now, I've done that completely dumb. Like, I've done that very, 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 very dumb. I could just build a route, build one route out, completely go to the start of the area, build the next route out, going the same way with the extra route, and come back. So I've done it in a way that's simple, so it uses less points, but in other ways, how I've done I've done timetables anyway, is I have gone from an A to a B. So if it's a loop, it's a loop, and it's one timetable and a schedule. If it's not a loop, it's an A to B and a B to A. So it'll be a 1 and a 2. So if it goes 1 to there, and then the second, and then it's another 1 going 2, then that's how I've done it. But I've obviously built it as one network, split it in a timetable as just this part is the one way, then just this part is the second way. That works. I could then go, oh, so we're back at the start point of another route. Why don't I just go 1, and that's another loop. That's another route, or 1, 2, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that obviously would be 6 in total, because obviously weekday or daytime, evening bus shifts, weekend bus shifts, sorted. 6 to 8, depending on if I do a Saturday and a Sunday shift separately. That works. But then, like I say, I could just carry on and add another route. And thinking about this towards the end of a save, probably will help going forward. Like I say, building a new save. So I'm going to have to take a think after we figure out how much we make completely during this day. We've paid off all our debts. We've paid off everything. We just have 40 minutes wait time at the service centres now. That is something I could address. It will take a lot of getting rid of all of the solar panels, rebuilding and reconfiguring the whole office setup, which I don't really want to do on this save. Like I say, this save I've been doing for months now. I can't remember when the first episode was that was Manchester. I'm sure I'll be able to find it if I look up on YouTube. But yes, City Bus Manager is an absolute beast of a game. I'm learning stuff every day with optimizations. The game, every time it saves, takes a while to load. And such. I'm gonna have a look on my YouTube. City Bus Manager. When did I switch from? There we go. So we started off this series on episode 26, moving to Manchester. We're now, I believe, on 53. So if we do 53, take 26. That's 27 episodes on Manchester. And we've absolutely nailed it all. Like, the Blackpool network in itself was 23 episodes. It was 22 episodes? Because I think the last episode was... Let's have a look. It was 25, sorry. 25 episodes. We're now on... This is the 28th episode. So we've done 3 episodes more, just on the Manchester network, which is basically... it's just been crazy. Now, like I say, I'm probably going to move over to maybe Birmingham, maybe even London. I would love to completely rebuild this whole network again, optimize it with the areas, but for the amount of time I've played this game, it is absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know how many days of footage there are, or anything like that. There's going to be there's 53 episodes with this. It is insane. It is a massive network. Do you know what? I might even go up to Scotland and do some Scotland, like Edinburgh or Glasgow. London probably is the best bet for going from the B network. Move to London. We would have completely new buses. We would have completely new routes to divulge and plan. Completely new scenarios and tube stations, and not to mention the sightseeing tours in London. That'll be a big... I think we're going London. London. I've made my mind up in my head now. We're going London. These buses are just chugging along right now. It is absolutely wild. We're going to hit hopefully over 3 million passengers today. Is the goal? Like, no, there's no. This is our first day with the entire network. I don't think there's any other extra buses I can add. Yeah, I think we're going to hit, if we can hit 3 million passengers in a day on a complete network. We've added Macclesfield in. Macclesfield isn't even in the Manchester network at all, apart from obviously the links to the airport and Stockport and Atrium. It is its own kind of area, but still. There's no B network buses that go down here. We've absolutely smashed the save. I literally only wanted to move down south to add Buxton in, because I wanted Buxton to Glossop, and I think we have hit a point where I think we've got like 10 map expansions. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some research and figure out, one, where's the best London borough to start. We're gonna have so many airports. We're gonna have so many stuffs to actually build. It's going to be pretty insane, the whole network that we're going to be building over there. With the optimizations we know to do, with our planning statistics of obviously as soon as we hit enough money to buy an external depot, move everything to an external depot, which means we can maximize fines, we can maximize customer service staff. We don't even have to worry about. Well, we're gonna have to worry about money in the start, but I don't think we're gonna have to worry about the electrification, like having the solar panels and all that. We're gonna have to start off with very small buses though. So the fact of where we need to figure out where to start, that's going to be the hardest point. And like I say, this Manchester build, adding Macclesfield in was an absolute. It's taken me 4 real days to go from last episode to this episode. 4 real days, just because of how slow this game chugs through now. With the amount of lines we've got, which is 216 total. Like 188 actual built, plus 3 for the extra ones, being the buses and the airport shuttle and the tourist stuff. Yeah, it is absolutely an incredible amount that we've added in. We're going to utilize all of our knowledge moving forward, adding more buses, adding more routes, adding everything. We've not maximized out our buses, like our external depots. I thought this game would be able to. I've been talking for however long, and we're only at like 9:30 still. It takes an age to get through a day. So going through, yeah, we are 100% moving to London. Like, there's no doubt about it. We will probably even do a lot more with our routes and everything. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until we get to the end of our day. We're gonna obviously hit this passenger numbers. We're gonna go sky high with everything. We'll see how we are at the end of the day. I'll see you all there. And we're back. We're getting towards the end of the day. The game is still chugging along. I've kind of realised why the game is chugging along a little bit. It's taken between 20 and 30 gigabytes of RAM to be able to play this save file. So I definitely think it's going to be time to call it quits there with the save. We didn't actually hit the 2.9 million passengers in a day, or even hit the 3 million passengers in a day mark. I don't know if that's because we're chugging or because we just got that much of a lowest rating with the time it takes at the service centre. However, I do have some statistics for you. If we pause the game, if you wanted to get from currently our most southeastern part of the map of Buxton all the way to our most northwestern, being Bolton. I didn't really go up to Edgerton, or whatever you want to call it, Bolton. You would take 3 different buses. Bolton to Manchester, transfer from Manchester to a bus to Stockport, and then Stockport down to Buxton. It would take you around 3 to 3.5 hours, depending on what bus routes you did take and the timings of them. But yeah, it will take you about 3 to 3.5 hours of transport to get from one corner of the map to the other corner of the map. Now, like I say, it is a bit of a shame that we're going to have to call this map at an end here, because obviously we're 1 or 2 locks away here from Warrington. We're 1 or 2 unlocks away up here to get to Blackburn. Not to mention, obviously, carrying on further west, you'd get Liverpool, further north, Bolton, Preston, Blackpool. It would be an absolute amazing save to do so. But we've made 2 million profit we've got some subsidiaries because obviously at the start of the day we'd dropped below the million threshold to get subsidiaries. Revenue wise is only 4.3 million. So we've dropped 1 million in revenue somehow, even though we've started another new area. What I think it is we've been expanding far too quickly on this save. Now, not to mention that obviously we've done Stockport, we've added buses to Stockport. We then, obviously, from Stockport, we've got down to Macclesfield, but we've added, in the last few days, in the last few videos, we've added Ashton, we've added Oldham, we've added Macclesfield, we've added Glossop, we've added Buxton. We've had so many updates that people are trying to travel down from Macclesfield up to all the way up to Rochdale to our office to buy tickets or complain or whatnot. And obviously it has been lacking because our service centre is overcrowded. Our service wait time is not the best either. So maybe that's part of the problem, is that we've been expanding so rapidly that we've just not been able to focus on here. Because if I was to go back to our own depot now, our offices, it would be a complete rebuild that I'd have to do. Because there's no way I can expand this way. Well, I can expand completely, but I'd have to get rid of all of the solar panels. And a lot more stuff to be able to maximise the service centre. Would have to hire so much more staff to put so much more lockers down. It's a crazy amount that would have to do. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this game save. Like I said, we're going to carry on the series. I'm probably going to look at maybe most probably London next. And I do know there's game save optimizations and all that kind of stuff. So stuff like this where it can take up to 4 hours for me to get through one of these days. I started recording this episode. When did I start recording this episode? I started recording this episode 3 hours ago. Yeah, I started recording this episode 3 hours ago. We've only got through one day. I have to pause it and record parts and close the game, reopen the game, and all that kind of good stuff. All that stuff. But yeah, it has been amazing doing this game save. Obviously, Manchester as a whole is a major network completely. Like, the amount of buses that they actually have in the B network and all that, probably a good way to start off with going to move over to a London depot and a London save. So thank you very much for everyone for watching this series so far. Hopefully you'll join me next episode moving over to somewhere in London, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things will start getting optimized even more, and we can look at obviously creating a massive new network over in London. Now, there is limitations to the amount of external depots. I know there is 14. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we could have had 2 more depots. Obviously, we had the Rochdale main depot. What I'm probably going to do is next is carrying on with the series. We're probably going to have 100 buses at the main depot and then 100 at each depot. So that means we could have up to 1,500 buses. 1,500 as that is. And go from there. It would be absolutely insane. It will give us more options for hotel transfers. It would give more options for what are the bus routes called? Sightseeing bus routes and all that. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely amazing save. I've already got an idea of where I'm going to start, but I'm not going to leave any hints. I'm going to do some research and see where's the best place to actually do so. If my inkling's correct, then we'll do that. We'll use all our knowledge from Blackpool from Manchester, moving over to moving over to London. But it is an absolutely insane map. Like, statistics-wise, revenue, we've been getting like 3 million a day. Utilizations are at 60. We were up to basically 80 at one point, and then we've just had more and more and more. It has been incredible. Company-wise, network coverage, we were always about 80% coverage. Obviously, we don't know what we're going to get for today until it goes past midnight. So let's just hopefully that game can carry on in the background so we can see that. That's not going to let me do that. So network length, 3,774 miles. Number of routes, 189, which in total is 217. We've got 217 routes. There's no actual limit to the amount of route numbers. That's good. So we know that going forward, but I still want to use the optimization stuff. Manchester City Centre is obviously the biggest passengers, where we get 300,000 a week in Piccadilly Gardens. It is an insane amount of number of passengers. Bus cleanliness, passenger numbers, technical conditions, mileage. Obviously, bus mileage has dropped as we've bought brand new buses. Yeah, it is an insane save. Thank you everyone for sticking around with it. I will hopefully, and if you are new as well and you've enjoyed it completely, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, notified when I next bring out another episode in London. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, thank you for everyone very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time for the next episode.